manage the end user's computers. If you've got machines, they need antivirus. Ideally, you want to protect them against disappearing with data. If they are a personal device and they have corporate data on the personal device because they're synchronizing their Google Drive to the device, you don't want them to leave the laptop on a bus and not have a password on there, right? Because then someone else has got access to your Google Drive, or they've got access to that staff member's emails. They might pretend to be them and, extort you for money or something. All kinds of bad things can happen. So we want to enforce some policies on devices if we don't own them. And even if we do own them, we want them to be backed up and protected so that if someone goes to an internet cafe and there's a hacker at the internet cafe, trying to jump into people's computers and control them and steal passwords, that they're less likely to get access to your corporate data. So we call that endpoint management. And endpoint management is where we look at all the computers in a business and we say, okay, let's get a management agent on each one of those computers. And that management agent means that that computer is going to be protected. Now, there are solutions out there that you can do this yourself, depending on how big your internal IT team is, if you've got the resources to manage that. Otherwise, you can just get our team to do it. So if you go to Concierge, our new Concierge plans have been simplified. And down the bottom here under additional products, remote desktop support, server support, these are the two add-ons to Concierge that basically cover that desktop management. So device management, we can do remote backups, we can do a corporate wipe of devices. So if someone's got their own personal device that they're using for your work, at the end of their employment, you want to offboard them properly, we can do what's called a corporate wipe and wipe all of the corporate data off their machine, but obviously leave all their personal data. So all those kind of things we do as a service, which is added on to Concierge. So just have a chat to the team about that. But the management of those devices, some of that can be done through Google Workspace natively. Google Workspace can do very basic policies like forcing someone to have a password. If you connect your desktop computers to Google for sign-ins, then, and that's called, it used to be called GADS, but I've got a feeling they changed it, but you can do the basics of just locking down device logins with Google Workspace. You can also manage mobile devices with Google Workspace as well. So if you've got tablets or phones, you can set up a policy that says, hey, well, you're not allowed to install Google Drive on your phone unless you have a password on that phone. Most people have passwords these days, but you can enforce that just to be absolutely sure. So a few of those things can be done by default with Google Workspace. But if you want to do things like antivirus, backup of machines, and corporate wipes, that's when you need to go to the next stage and set an agent there. The category of that software is called RMM, or Remote Management and Monitoring. There's many, many solutions out there. We buy a volume license for one product from a company called Datto, and we include that in our service. I don't know what it costs if you buy 10 licenses or 50 licenses, but we're buying thousands, and so we get a really good price for that. Anyway, but that whole world of IT management, have a chat to our team. They'll be very happy to help you out with that.
If you need more help with what we've covered in this video, itGenius provides support services to businesses all over the world with problems just like this. Click the link below to get started.